Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, and 1 week ago was Ash Wednesday, so we are halfway through the first full week of Lent, and tonight I have the rite of election, or I guess technically it's called the call to continuing conversion for me since I've already been baptized. But it's a ceremony where we're presented to the bishop, and the church recognizes our desire to complete sacramental initiation and to live our faith fully within the Catholic community. And I wanted to take a walk with my dog and share a bit about my path toward the Catholic Church. So growing up, I was taught about faith, but it often felt distant, more like a collection of symbols from an age when God was actively engaged with humanity. And I learned, the importance of having a strong personal relationship with Jesus. The message was that, Jesus is alive and active and ready to take the wheel, like the song Jesus Take the Wheel. And all I needed to do was say a prayer and my life would change. And reflecting on this, I realized there were truths in what I learned, but they often existed in silos, like different denominations. Some denominations emphasize speaking in tongues as a way to communicate with God directly, bypassing any spiritual interference, I guess you could say. Others viewed baptism as a symbolic act, not necessary for salvation. And communion, too, was often seen as a mere symbol, something to reflect on occasionally, almost like a snack with a prayer. They gave out little packets with juice and a cracker once per month at the non-denominational church I was going to. And these varied practices left me confused and longing for more. Despite the call to have a personal relationship with Jesus, repent, and study the Bible, there were still, a sense of distance. It was as if I held Jesus, a real person, and God who died for my sins in one hand, a symbol of a perfect life that I could never live. And in the other hand was the tangible reality of daily life, laughing, crying, sustaining my body with food and sleep, and just physically living in the present. And in my journey to the Catholic Church, I discovered a faith that bridges this gap. The sacraments are not just symbols. They're physical, tangible encounters with the living God. Baptism is more than a symbol. It's the sacrament that initiates us into a new life with Christ. The Eucharist is not merely a remembrance, but the true presence of Jesus, nourishing us spiritually in a profound and real way. I found that Catholicism offers a rich, sacramental life where Jesus is truly active and present. It's a faith that connects the spiritual and physical, uniting my relationship with Christ with the reality of daily life. And this journey has taught me that faith is not distant, but deeply relational, inviting us to live fully in the presence of God. So I wanted to share that. Thank you for listening. I hope that it inspires you to seek a faith that is alive and active and intimately connected with the reality of God. God bless. Cameron says bye.